guys, welcome to my channel. And before we even get started with introductions, you already know the motherfucking drill. But Dana, you're a spiritual YouTuber and alcohol lowers your vibration. I never said I was perfect, okay?
Everybody has those days.
I have struggles just like everybody else. I need some cranberry juice, so I'll be right back. Feel free to pour up with me if you're of legal age. That's depressing. Oh wait, we gotta get a little sip. Beautiful. Guys, it's 3 p.m. I'm horrible, I know, but nobody's perfect. Now we can get into the introduction now that I got a little drinky drink. Hi guys, my name is Dana, aka Abundant Vibes, and welcome to my vibey ass channel. If you know me, which you probably don't because I'm not that popular yet, I am a spiritual guru who finds joy in spreading positive vibrations and encouraging others to do the same. I also like to inform people and ask people questions about human nature, life, religion, basically everything. I question everything and you should too. So if you like life and spirituality tips that could completely change your life and completely change the way that you perceive life, you're at the right place and I highly recommend that you subscribe. Also plan to do like some true crime conspiracy type videos. I think all of that is like super interesting, so if you do as well, I can tell that we would get along great and we should be friends. If you don't already, follow me on TikTok at Abundant Vibes. I post spiritual videos, life advice videos, some fashion. I want to start posting like some conspiracy and true crime videos on there as well, but I don't really know if my audience would be down for that. I don't want to scare them because like I do post a lot of like positive things, so I don't want to be like, oh, your life is so great, you're doing so great, keep pushing, and then all of a sudden like I pop up with a video of like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or some shit. Like, I know it could probably throw some people off. I don't know. I might. So if you're into that, give my page a little love. Furthermore, I think this is super interesting. If you go on my TikTok, you can literally like scroll down and see me having a spiritual awakening before your very eyes. And I think that's pretty interesting. So, I mean, you should check that out. Enough with the self-promo, let's get into the video. So we've all been there. You've been pushing off meditation week after week, day after day. And you finally sit down and you meditate. And you sit and something just doesn't feel right. Your mind's all over the place. You're thinking about things and you just don't feel that into it. If that's you, you're not alone. I've been there and several other people have been there, but let me tell you in the most polite way possible that you are tripping. What do you mean I'm tripping, Dana? Well, if you resonated with any of the examples that I just gave, it's probably because you believe in some of the common misconceptions about meditating. But it's okay, I'm here to educate you. So when people come to me for advice on meditating, one of the most frequent struggles that people mention to me is that they can't stop thinking, or like their mind is on overdrive, or like it's just too hard to meditate and they don't feel like they're meditating efficiently. Now, I've heard this so many times, and really all this has showed me is that meditation is truly something that is new in the Western world. Eastern religions such as Buddhism and Hinduism have been practicing meditation for a very long time, and they don't have these problems. You want to know why? You want to know the secret? Because they know that meditation does not mean to not think. The natural thought of the human mind is to think, so you can't expect to not think at all, especially if you're just sitting there in silence. Through meditating, you just kind of learn to observe and control your thoughts. Now, another misconception that Westerners typically have about meditation is that you have to sit there with your eyes closed and be in complete silence and meditate. And that's also not true. Now, you can meditate that way, and that is a very effective way of meditating, but it is not the only way to meditate. So what meditating is, it is simply being able to be in the present moment. Meditating could be you washing dishes, or you focusing how water feels when it hits your hands, or while you're driving, you're counting the amount of bluebirds that you can see on the drive. But most people typically focus on their breath. So now that you have a little bit more of an understanding, you should know that meditating is not about not thinking. It is about bringing your mind to a focus and being in the present moment. In fact, Buddhists call our mind the jumping monkey because our mind jumps everywhere all the time. So meditating is just about controlling that jumping monkey and putting a leash on that monkey and giving that monkey a job so it's not bouncing all over the place. So let's go with the most popular example of meditation, breath control. You're sitting there, you're focusing on your breathing, and you start thinking, and then you start freaking panicking, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this right, nothing's right. Well, all you have to do is bring your focus back to your breath, and you're meditating. It's just about focus. So what have we learned? Meditating is not about having thoughts. It's about bringing your mind to a focus, okay? I just want you to leave with that, okay? And honestly, even if you struggle the first couple of times that you meditate, that is completely fine. Because our brain is so smart, and neuroscientists have discovered that our brain is actually neuroplastic, which means that the more that we do something, the easier it becomes. So every time that you meditate, it'll be easier and easier to tether that monkey mind. Things good now, right? We have a new perspective on meditating and everything is all good in the hood, correct? No, Dana, I have fucking anxiety and I can't meditate. It's not that easy. I got you. Now, I understand that if you're an anxious person to begin with, you may get more anxious by meditating because you can kind of just sit there and just focus on your breath, and then you're like, shit, I'm not focusing on my breath. I'm thinking too much. And then, you know, just kind of go on like a fucking downhill spiral of like you being in your thoughts and you just not being able to really be in the present moment while just sitting there and meditating. And if that is the case, I have a solution. I recommend for you to do active meditations. So, for example, if you have trouble just sitting there and meditating, I recommend that you go for a walk and just find something to focus on. This could be focusing on your breathing, or focusing on the sky, or focusing on the trees, or like anything that allows you to be present and to step out of your mind and into the present world around you. Because if you have anxiety, you're either focusing too much on the past or you're anticipating something in the future and it gives you worry. Now, I can't remember the podcast. I got most of my facts from this podcast and I'll list it up here. It completely slipped my mind. Something that typically helps a lot of people who have anxiety is when you're having panic attacks, just focus on something that's present. Go to a sink, let water run on your hands, and just focus on how the water feels running on your hand. It allows you to be present, and it allows you to step out of your mind a little bit and just focus on what is happening right in front of you. Also, if you have anxiety, I highly recommend for you to go out in nature. Oh my gosh, guys. Over quarantine, I started going out in nature a lot more because I had my spiritual awakening. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, I hate nature. Like, I hate bugs. Like, I hate dirt. Like, I'm too prissy for that shit. Like, Dana, like, what the fuck? Like, what? But like, just being in nature truly calms me. And there have been studies that find that even just looking at pictures of nature can significantly reduce stress levels and anxiety. Nature kind of forces you to be present. You know, if you're out in like the woods, you know, the trees are present, the animals are present, the leaves on the ground are present, the stream is present. Like, there is no thinking about like what this forest could be 50 years from now or what this forest was in the past. It is simply there and it is being. I leave you guys with this quote, and it is that nature has the perfect vibration. And it truly does. It truly, truly does. I'm not gonna lie, I went on a trip and I felt really connected to like this tree, and ever since then it kind of just made me look at nature a little bit differently, appreciate it on another level. All I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for visiting and listening to me and spending time with me. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you struggle with, and maybe somebody else has struggled with it and you guys can have a productive conversation. I know it feels good to have people resonate with you and for people to tell you that they've also been through a similar struggle. So maybe we can make some friends in the comments, and I'll also be replying to them because, like I said, I'm not important. Great, thank you so much. I love all of you guys. See you later. Bye.